everyone, welcome back to another theatre vlog. Today I'm with the lovely Dan Buckley.
What are the chances, hey?
No, it's almost like you invited me. Today we are going to see The Jungle at the Playhouse Theatre. I've not been to the Playhouse in ages, yes. Cute, I'll do a better shot than that. Yeah, I think, what's the last thing I saw here? Maybe like 1984, it's been that long.
I didn't see it, no.
What have you seen here? Seen anything here?
I used to work for a house here.
Apart from that?
And that was when Dreamboats and Petticoats was on, so that's
about
a
long time ago. That was like 2012?
Yeah, I saw the cashier, the cash report.
Oh, yeah.
What's the most recent thing I saw here?
I think 1984 was the last thing I saw here, and that was a couple of years ago. Yeah. So, yeah, and they've changed everything. So you've had a sneak peek.
I have.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see how they've completely like gutted out the theatre.
It looks incredible.
I'm buzzing, and it's so hot right now. So I'm hoping the theatre might be a bit cooler.
And we're sitting in Q8.
Yeah, which I thought Dan said like, as in like Q, as in the letter
Seat number 8.
But no, it's actually, do you want to show them the ticket?
Where is it? There.
Yeah.
There.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's loads of different locations. I've not heard too much about this apart from the fact it's amazing. So
we're going to be, when we come out, I'm not sure we're going to be like, guys, I'm buzzing.
Like hilarious
I think
thing?
we're
I think
going to
it's
come
going to be
out
like
emotional.
So let's see. Let's get out of the heat because it's too much. Gonna start in a minute, so we're not talking for long. This is insane.
It's very nice.
Like, we are literally where the stage should normally be.
Yes.
It's mad. Do they only have the dress circle, right? Yeah. Every time. It's a train, yeah, but every time it's scaring me.
Oh, I thought it was like a jet.
It did sound like it when we came in. It sounded like a jet. This is mad. Oh my god, I'm shook and it's not even started. We were just saying as we were coming in, we're really excited to see it, but it feels like something that's not going to be like, it's not the happiest.
No, yeah.
Even just knowing like the bare minimum of like, is this not going to be a jolly show?
No, yeah. My wife saw it and she saw the dress rehearsal and it was just like...
It's harrowing.
It's going to be an education.
Oh, definitely.
Which is amazing.
Anyway, putting the camera away and we'll speak to you in the interval. There is an interval, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll speak to you.
They said no readmittance.
Yeah, I think that was if you left during the show.
Okay.
I mean, it's long enough that...
We'll find out.
Maybe you should have gone for a wee beforehand otherwise.
Yeah.
We'll chat to you when we can. Please come out from the jungle.
Just want to see it, I think.
Yeah. Like,
Go and educate yourself.
yeah. shell-shocked, like, and we were just saying it feels so surreal to just come out onto the streets of London after seeing that.
And be allowed to be here.
Yeah. My God, yeah.
It's kind of hard. It's just something you should definitely see. It's just something you should definitely see.
You must go and see it. It's a totally unique theatre experience as well. Like, not just because of the story, which you absolutely should see it because of the story, but the way they're telling it.
Yeah, the way they tell it
is unreal.
It's such a responsibility for the actors, the people in it. I loved it.
Yeah. And it's weird to say something like that about what it's about, but
you come out and you just, I feel like I know a lot more about it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's maybe a little too late, I don't know, but I feel like I could engage a bit more in the...
Yeah. Just not in the way that one of the characters was.
Yeah.
Engage in the right ways.
Yeah.
I just don't really know.
Go and see it.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me join you.
You're welcome. I wanted to invite someone who I thought would appreciate.
Yeah, I think, but saying that, I do think like everyone should go and see this. Like, doesn't matter who you are, what you enjoy, because chances are this is going to be very different to everything you're used to if you're a theatre goer, like completely different, but you should come and see it.
Because you're like, as soon as you walk in, you just be like, this is cool, and then you see the story and you're like, oh my gosh, damn it. Yeah.
But if you're going to do like a 2-show day, maybe have something fun for the evening.
Like?
Well, I'm going to see Hamilton tonight.
Which I don't know if it's very fun, is it?
Sad at points, but maybe a bit more uplifting. Plan something like 42nd Street afterwards. Something a bit lighter, and be very grateful that you have the privilege to do that.
For sure.
I don't know what else to say right now.
I'm sure you'll have a little
I'll have a little chat
later.
I will. But yeah. Wow.
Just go and see it, guys, seriously.
That's everything we have to say right now.
All the best.
Thanks for joining me in the vlog.
Yeah, good, anytime.
Right, I'll chat to you later. And
see you later.
Bye. Hello everyone, welcome back to the chassis section of the vlog. As you saw, I recently went to see The Jungle at the Playhouse Theatre. First of all, I just want to say a big thank you to my friend Dan for inviting me to come along with him, because this was a show that I was definitely going to see at some point, but I feel like it might have been one of those that I could have let pass by without seeing it. So I'm really happy that Dan invited me, and that obviously gave me the push to go. The Jungle is about the refugee crisis and the camps in Calais, so going into it I knew it wasn't going to be the happiest of shows. A couple of friends of mine had already been to see The Jungle and were raving about it, and I'd seen a few like sneak peek photos here and there. I knew that they'd gutted out the Playhouse Theatre basically, so I was really excited. It's not the right word, but I was excited to see how they'd done it, because it's very rare nowadays that theatres will completely transform for a specific production. In fact, this might be one of the first shows that I've seen where this has been the case. So we were in the stalls, but it's not really the stalls at the moment. We were in the ground floor level, and they have completely taken out all of the seats in that level and built it up to be part of the Calais jungle, and it is unreal. The transformation is like nothing else I've ever seen, really. I didn't know this before going in, but they've like named the different sections, so obviously you know like where you're sitting when you're booking your tickets. So we were sat in Q8, which is essentially where the back of the stage should be. We were kind of in, I guess, a sort of box, and it was a really good view actually. It had its pros and cons, but I feel like kind of every area of the venue will have that, so it doesn't really matter where you're sitting as such, because it is an immersive experience. So, you know, it's not like one place is massively restricted and everywhere else is fine. Everywhere's gonna have its like little quirks. I was really happy with the view that we had. I'm glad that we had that view, because we were like in the thick of it, but also felt like we had that bit of protection being behind like the little wall, and so I knew that nothing hopefully too bad was gonna happen to us in terms of interaction. There were a couple of moments that really terrified me, but maybe I won't talk about that because I don't want to spoil anything too much. I feel like this is a show that you need to see live, and see literally how it plays out. The way they tackle the narrative of this show is obviously focusing on lots of individual stories as well as the kind of story of the camp as a whole, which is really interesting. And they actually start the show at kind of the climax of the drama, and then they pull you back and kind of go from the beginning, which is a really interesting tactic, I think, because both Dan and I were sat there kind of anxious because everything was so intense at the start, and I was like, oh my god, we're starting at 100, where do we go from here, you know? Then it drew back and we got to kind of know everyone individually and know their struggles. And this way of telling the story, it makes you understand the characters and the people. I hate calling them characters because they're real people. You know, you get to know what's happening with their life and why they're there and how they got there, and it is heartbreaking. This show as a whole is unlike anything I've ever seen, and I've had a few friends ask me about whether they should go and see it, and I've said 100% yes, you should see it. And then they've asked, but is it a sad story? It's hard to explain, but obviously it's not going to be the happiest piece of theatre. That's a given considering the subject matter, but I don't think that should put you off. I think you should still see it regardless, because even though it's not happy singing dancing overall, there are some really heartwarming moments in it and some really funny moments as well, because even communities that are going through the most harrowing of things, it's not going to be doom and gloom all of the time, because you find those little pockets of joy in companionship and coming together. So that is replicated very well in the play, in my opinion. It is a real mixed bag of emotions. I am in complete awe of the cast of this show because it's such a hard story to tell, and to do that day after day and really throw yourself into that emotion and that story like 150%. I honestly don't know how they manage it, and I feel like I can't single any one person out because it is very much an ensemble piece and they all completely blew me away. I was fully invested in every single person and their journeys and their stories, and I think for any show to be able to do that when especially it's multiple characters, that's an impressive feat in itself. The Jungle is not a happy show by any means, but I think it's a reality check and it's a show that everyone needs to see to kind of understand a bit more of what's been going on, especially if you live in the UK, like just across the channel. This has been happening, this has been a reality for a lot of people, and I feel like when we just see it on the news or whatever, we don't feel it as much, but then when it is being, albeit performed in front of you, you suddenly feel a lot more towards these people, and it's left such an impact on me, and I think that's what great theatre does. And I'm really happy as well that a piece of theatre like this that isn't necessarily the most kind of commercial thing, it's, you know, it's not another Disney musical. I'm really happy that despite that, it's obviously transferred from the Young Vic to the West End and more people are getting to see it. I think that's an incredible thing. And yeah, I'm kind of lost for words with this piece. Obviously, as you saw, Dan and I were a bit shell-shocked coming out of the show, and I still feel that way now. I'm not 100% sure how I want to describe it because I feel like nothing I say will do it justice. I just think you need to see it. If you've been to see The Jungle, I would love to know your thoughts on the show. Please do let me know down in the comments, and I hope you're all doing really well. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!